Today will be... Oh, wait. Give me one moment, please. Hello. Today we will be talking about impact zones. An impact zone is when your damage has more damage at the tip and less damage near the base of the weapon. So if you want to get really good at killing people, you need to learn the sections of the weapon that you are using. I went through all of the melee weapons and put them into a little paint document for you to review. Each weapon has different types of combo attacks. There are slash, pierce, and blunt. These aren't that important other than just you understanding the movement of the weapon. First, we will be going over sword impact zones. As you can see, I have all of the swords here. They have different combos and different ratios that each hit does with their first, second, and third swing. So if you'd like to just pause, look at it, and then I will be going on to the next one. Here we have Mace Impact Zones. As you can see, the Club and Warhammer are a little bit different from the other ones that we have seen, and that is because when I was looking them up, researching them, they did not have a visual documented impact zone. So that is my guess of where the impact zones are. However, the primary combo, blunt attacks, and the percentage that each hit does is accurate to information that is found online right now. Just pause, take a look, absorb it. I will be going on to the next section. Magical weapons, instrument impact zone. So I did not include the drum or the flute, even though you can technically hit and kill people with those. I did not include those because I don't believe they are very relevant to impact zone damage. You just either use it or you don't use it. I think the flute is a lot more fun to use on teammates than it is on enemies. It's easier to execute and funnier to do. I think I've killed one person with a flute before in the wild, and that was mostly because I was panicking and could not remember how to pull my weapon out. Take that how it is. As you can see, ceremonial staff, again, this is what I believe. You can guess, you can test it out, see for yourself. That's just an educated guess. However, I would like to say again, the primary combo, blunt combo, and the percentage damage that each hit does is accurate and true. I will be moving on to the next one now. Here we have our polearm impact zones. A bardiche is also an axe, but since there are so few polearms, I am putting the bardiche on the polearm impact zone. You will not find it on the axe section. Pretty straightforward. Moving on to the next one. Axes impact zones. I don't have very much to add other than the felling axe and horseman's axe. So just take a look at them. The felling axe only has one hit for the primary combo, and the horseman's axe has a little tiny little space at the tip that you could hit someone with. So if you're not doing as much damage as you believe you should be when you're using the horseman's axe, you might be hitting them with just that tiny fraction of the weapon. Just keep that in mind. Moving on to the next one, you can pause this, look at it, absorb it. I'm gonna go on. Dagger impact zones. Daggers are really cool in that they have a 100% impact zone, and each one has a unique little slash pierce combo going on with different percent damages for each hit. I will say that the Rondel Dagger has a very unique combo in that it does a first hit, a second hit, third hit, and then it keeps cycling between the second and third hit nonstop, which makes Rondel Dagger a very strong weapon as compared to other weapons that have to do first, second, third, first, second, third, so on and so forth. So not having a wind up and a recovery is really strong for the Rondel Dagger. So take a pause, look at it, and I will be moving on to the next section. Hit location bonus is really important for you to learn because if you're hitting somebody in the arms, legs, hands, or feet, you are not going to kill them as fast as somebody hitting you in the head or the torso. So if you have a complete mirror match, Bard versus Bard, similar gear and everything, the Bard hitting you in the head is going to win. The Bard hitting the other person in the legs is going to lose. By the way, do you like the little face that I put on him? I thought it was really funny. I thought it was also kind of cute. I think it added a little bit of something. That's just me. Anyway, moving on. I was wanting to highlight the Rondel Dagger and why it is so strong right now. Common bardiche on the left and a common Rondel Dagger on the right. I'm just going to put into consideration the base physical weapon damage that these weapons do and not put into consideration any other stats that could be added. That being said, I'm going to go into the bardiche and the attack times and explain what we are looking at right here. For a wind up, that is before the weapon actually makes contact with the player, the attack, and then the recovery after that attack is done. So if we look at the bardiche's 3 combo attack, overall it takes about 4 seconds for the bardiche to wind up all 3 of its attacks and recover completely before it can do the next cycle. When we look at the Rondel Dagger, we see that the primary combo of 3 attacks takes about 2.1 seconds to get it completed. That's not even putting into consideration that the Rondel Dagger has a unique combo where once it hits the 3rd pierce, it can then cycle immediately to the 2nd hit. It does not have a recovery time to restart that combo like the Bardiche. The Rondel Dagger has a pierce, 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 and the Rondel Dagger can do that infinitely. It just cycles between the 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. So while the Bardiche has a recovery of 1234 milliseconds and 1030 milliseconds for the wind up after that recovery, there are a full 2 seconds that the Bardiche is outputting absolutely 0 damage. And in those 2 seconds, the Rondel Dagger has gotten through an additional 3 attacks in. Now let's back up a little bit more. The Bardiche has a 70% impact zone right below the 100%, meaning the Bardiche is best at a distance. If the person's standing really close to the Bardiche user is getting 70% of their 50 weapon damage, which comes out to be 35 weapon damage, and the Rondel Dagger coming out with 22 weapon damage. Most likely head damage, by the way, so an additional 50% damage. And then, to top that off, a lot of fighters are running Rondel Dagger. So you have these fighter users in full physical damage reduction. Let's just say it is a 50% PDR physical damage reduction fighter. If you take 50% of 35, you now have 18 weapon damage. 18 weapon damage compared to a Rondel Dagger that is outputting 22 weapon damage, and a Bardiche that is outputting this 3 hit cycle in 4 seconds, with a Rondel Dagger that is putting out a 3 hit cycle in 2 seconds. Not to mention that it's not even doing a full 3 cycle after it gets the 3, it's doing a 2-3-2-3 cycle. Put all that together, the Bardiche is not going to win against a Rondel Dagger fighter user. They are so much faster than a Bardiche user. If you want to play the fighter has plate armor and slows them down card, fine, sure, let's do that. The fighter is slowed down with their armor compared to the Bardiche user who might not be wearing a shirt or a helmet because, let's say, they're a barbarian without a shirt or helmet on. Completely possible. Even with that in mind, the Rondel Dagger has their plate armor on. They're going to be using so much more damage against a barbarian that doesn't have any plate armor on, missing a shirt, missing a hat. Even if they have all those things on, the armor is nothing close to being plate material. So you have this crazy out DPSing weapon in your face. You can't outmaneuver them. You can't get your sweet spot of your weapon. You're just getting stat checked and killed. I will now showcase some of the most popular weapons in the game. I wanted to do all of them, but for the sake of time, I just don't have that time to be able to bring every single weapon in the game. So I'm going to do my best to bring in some of the most popular weapons in the game, showcase them on a test dummy in the lobby. I would also like to say that the test dummies in the game have a negative 12% physical damage reduction on them. This means that you will do more damage to the dummy than you would to an actual player. Thank you for watching. I would really appreciate it if you liked, commented, subscribed so we can reach more people. I would also really love to see you in my Twitch chat. Say hello, pop by, say hi. I stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can also join my Discord. I'll try to leave the link below. And say hi there, make some friends, and just thank you so much. Bye-bye.